There's a lot of things that I've observed I will share with you. And this could be applicable or they could not be applicable, right? It's just basically what I'm sharing is what I have witnessed, and hopefully it'll help you out as PCQIs out there. Here we go again. Good morning once again, PCQIs. Continuing on with our FDA on-site inspection. So on this topic, we're going to be talking about the entrance interview, going through the facility inspection. Okay, so as we talked about the previous videos, what normally will happen is the investigator is going to talk about the scope of the audit, if they're going to be there just that day or they're going to be there for a week. Most I've seen in one of my clients, they did is they were actually there for like a 3 full day. They arrived Monday, spent about half a day getting to know the facility, reviewing the organization, basically looking at the layout, where things are, basically your schematic. So if you are doing a GFSI audit, this is part of that certification, you can see how it synergizes with what they're about to do. So on 21 CFR Part 117 under plants and grounds, this is where that Code of Federal Regulation kind of apply. So we ask for the layout of the facility, layout of the equipment, how people move in and out of different zones. So those are the type of things that they were looking at. Now remember, we're just in a room right now. That's kind of the pre-interview, but they also talked about what they're looking for. Some do and some don't. That's the tricky part of it. So ask questions, right? And the more you ask, they become educators as well as regulators, and they actually will tell you that. They normally say, well, we're here to educate and regulate, right? It's a famous line for every investigator I've ever met with. That's kind of embedded into that FDA training. So they're going to take a look at those, ask, what are you looking for? And they'll tell you, right? Some of them really want to share, and some don't, right? Because they don't want to cross over that line. So they'll give you one word, unhygienic practices, non-conforming to such and such standard or whatnot. It's very intimidating, right? So as a PCQI, just take notes, right? Like I said, you're collecting information as well as they are giving information. So they're going to look at facility layout, process flow, which I talked about, and design, okay, of the facility. Now, during the actual facility inspection, there's a lot of things that I've observed I will share with you. And, this could be applicable or they could not be applicable, right? It's just basically what I'm sharing is what I have witnessed, and hopefully it'll help you out as PCQIs out there. And if you have some of these experiences, please email me info@consultaireinc.com, so we can kind of share this, and as a PCQI community, we can help each other improve our processes, okay? They were looking for insanitary conditions, insanitary equipment, lack of employee hygiene or unhygienic practices, evidence of pest activity. These are their priority. They're going to look at your ceiling, your condensation, so look up, right? Now, on a warehouse, sometimes we don't think about this. We kind of look up and we see bare wood, right? And there is no film covering. That's always been commented by these investigators, that to have those. There's a lot of reasons behind it. Obviously, number one is moisture, and this is one part of that is you can capture that condensation there. If it's just bare, it just opens up, and then it would lead on to mold or and such. Okay. Also, when you do have a covering, especially on the warehouse part of it, you're probably thinking, well, they wrote it up. Okay. So these are some of the experiences I have. Make sure it's sealed. Okay, so duct tape or tape and whatnot, everything is sealed, so it's easily cleanable on that. And I've actually seen our plant, one of our clients' plant, actually go up there with those forklift and actually do the wipes and things like that because of the moisture that was observed through cameras and photos from the auditors or investigators. Okay, they're also going to look at your overhead air handlers, equipment on or pipes, and poor operational practices. Okay, so on pipes, normally they look for, well, what I've seen was they were looking for sewage lines that goes above production. So and make sure those are identified. You can buy stencils at the hardware store and spray them on there. It doesn't have to be super fancy stickers. Anyway, so on operational practices, they are looking for sequences in zone changes, meaning are you washing your hands when you're working on a different zone and doing your glove maintenance? Are you changing that? When you scratch your face, you touch your face, you touch your face mask, are you change your gloves again, things like that. So these are the type of write-ups, non-conformance or non-conformity that are observed during this interaction. And always they ask for records as well. Okay, as they go along, they're gonna let you know about that. Okay, so I'm gonna touch base on during the inspection. You must follow, in my opinion, right? Don't leave the investigator by themselves. Okay, that's a must. Have them escorted, at least one or two, like we talked about the primary and alternate designated persons, right? The reason why is they're gonna ask questions. And if the person or the technician that they approach doesn't have their SOPs and basically nonchalantly be talking to them, they make an observation and that person gets stuck because it's not even his assigned duty. He could be just there passing by. You can get dinged for that, right? So normally what happens if you are, let's say, a pre-weigh station, don't have somebody that's not qualified performing that. I mean, it just makes sense, right? So that person, like for me, like if I go to a person or that technician, he or she knows what they're supposed to do. Like, this is the formula, or this is the recipe, or this is the pre-weigh checklist, and they would go line by line. This is what I weigh. I get this. I put a sticker on it. I deduct it from the bulk, etc., etc. So whatever that process is, because they will ask questions on that. And if you have somebody that's just standing there, and he butts in, and it's not even his assigned duty, and he says it wrong, and it's verified later on that process is a misstep, you're gonna get a ding for that. Okay, so anyway, so we'll let me stop there. I don't want the videos to be too long. We'll continue on this discussion on the next video. Super. Thanks, everybody. Contact us, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thanks again, PCQIs. Have a good one.